So let's take a deep breath in. So we have a few minutes time for question answers or any comments. So any of you feel free to unmute and speak up.
How soon after taking food you can do this exercise?
Okay, it depends upon how much food you had. So yeah, if you think in terms of lunch, you probably want to give at least 2 hours time, maybe, and 3 hours is even better.
Thank you. Thanks for telling.
If you had a fruit or something like that, it probably half an hour, 1 hour is more than enough. Yes, Govardhanji.
Yeah, I got a problem with my ankles on the leg, both of the legs, around middle of the night, around 2 o'clock, 2 a.m., something like that, between 12 and 2.
Yeah, and what is the nature of the problem?
The cramps, the cramp, right? Pain.
Cramps are coming in the ankle or in the bottom of the feet?
Between ankle and the knee, in between.
Oh, between ankle and the knee, the calf muscles. Okay. So this happens every day at that time in the night?
Right, it happens about three nights, maybe more or less like that.
I see. This really means what you can consider doing is the Haim mantra, which we are doing, right?
Yeah.
Focused on the chest. Do it for 15 minutes, 3 times a day. And after 1 week, tell me how you feel.
Okay.
Yes, Janaki Ram Polani, go ahead.
I told you before, I also get the cramps. And even last night I got quite often. The one thing I do is, I read in a newspaper, immediately I get up and stand, it goes away. Because
Yes.
that pain is excruciating. I can't bear it in 1 second. But the cramp, they are talking maybe different.
No. The cramps that he's saying, it immediately goes away if you stand up and put pressure on the feet, right? That definitely does happen. But the question is how to prevent it from happening, from coming on.
Okay.
Can I ask a question, doctor, about yesterday morning session?
Yes.
The Kapalbhati, how long did we do that for? Because I noticed like differences, and I don't know if it was the Kapalbhati or if there was other. It's the Kapals where we breathe in our abdomen, right? Where we just keep going.
If I recall yesterday, I think we did 9 or 10 minutes.
Like it was a half hour. And what does that, I know it does the generation of the stem cells. Is there anything else? Like other things?
I didn't say generate stem cells. Who said that?
I don't know. I must be in the wrong area. I misspoke. Please accept that.
Actually, what I said was that there is an Israeli doctor who has done research to show that, what you call it as intermittent hypoxia generates stem cells. That is what I said.
So what is Kapalbhati? Like I had a lot of energy yesterday and I went to bed really, really late the night before because my brother was here.
Hmm.
So I had like 4 hours of sleep overnight. And then I drugged myself to yoga. And then I was like, okay, I was up for the whole rest of the day until like really late last night.
Hmm. Okay.
I think, or no.
So you see what it is the body has its own methods of giving you those energy tabs. So you figured it out. Very nice. Mr. Polani, go ahead.
I'm again asking, this may be silly, but please don't laugh. Was sleeping my bad posture or side sleeping or what? By morning it keeps on paining until evening. And this one is very painful. Is posture related, right?
You can consider changing your bed
Okay. Or
and
pillow.
your pillow.
Okay.
You see, what happens is uh, generally pretty much you see the pillow is the one that is the biggest impact on the neck. Okay, so you will get the kind of pillows where they are pretty firm when you put the head in, whereas on the others you will get they're so spongy. The moment you turn the head, it moves in a way whereby the head has minimal pressure on them. Those kinds of pillows are better for the neck.
Okay. Thank you.
Dr. Rajan, I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
So, Dr. Rajan, the past, I think, couple of years, I am basically rediscovering Hinduism more with what makes sense to me, with what I had known earlier, which was ritualistic and based in stuff I did not understand. So the reason I bring this question is, the other day there was a conversation in this group about kundali and how all that matter and how it affects you. So my latest understanding is karmas is everything, and then these stars aligning and all that. I mean, if your future is based on your karmas, where do stars play a role in them?
Okay. Let me ask you something. If everything is based on karma, who created that karma for you to take birth?
The kleshas were there in my first.
Good. Okay. That's good. So now that is clear. Now what happens is we are part of the entire cosmic creation. And the cosmic creation has a certain kind of a flow which we call as the cosmic flow. And the Indian spiritual literature, the term used for that is Rita. So out of that comes the words like Ritu, Rishi, and all of that comes from there. So the in the cosmic flow, everything is linked to everything else. So that is the idea how the stars, because they are all part of the cosmic system, how the stars' locations, how they matter, and those are the correlations that are there as part of the astrological system. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
So it's time to begin. Let's bring our awareness to the perineum and pressing on the little finger. We begin with Lam. Just a quick question. If there is anybody new today, please unmute yourself and say so. Then we will go a little slower. And today being Sunday, we have a longer session in the end. We have half hour in the end where we have discussion. And yesterday, Rekha had put the thought that we should speak on this Sri Vidya. So we can talk about it. If you have other thoughts, you can also, put in any other thoughts you might have. Okay, pressing on the little finger, let's begin with Lam, focused at the perineum. Lam. Release the fingers and continue. Release the fingers, continue. Bring the awareness an inch above the perineum and pressing on the ring finger, we do Vam. Vam. From. Release the fingers and continue. Now bring the awareness behind the navel in the middle of the body, and there we do Ram, pressing on the middle finger with the thumb. Ram. Release the fingers and continue. Release the fingers and continue. Bring the awareness to the middle of the chest, in between the breasts. And there we do yum, pressing on the index finger with the thumb. Release the fingers and continue. Now, bring the awareness to the throat, and here we do hum, thumbs up, loose fist. Hum. Release the fingers and continue. Last time. Now bring your awareness to the middle of the head, and there we do chum, thumbs up, loose fist. Chum. Chum. Release the hand and continue. Last time. Now we go on to the Ujjayi Pranayama. We go to the top of the head and we do Om. So again, thumbs up, loose fist. Om. Release the hands and continue. Last time. Now we go on to the Ujjayi Pranayama, the happy face breathing. So I think all of you know the practice, so please continue. And if you have any tightness in any joints, feel free to stretch out the joints as you do them. And if anybody needs instruction on this, close your eyes and bring your awareness to the lowermost part of the mouth that connects into the neck. Focusing there, make a big smile and observe a stretch coming on to the lowermost part of the mouth and focusing on that stretch. Inhale and exhale in slow, long breaths. And as you inhale, feel a mild sucking sensation. And as you exhale, feel a reverse sucking sensation. Please continue. So now let's go on to the respiratory vibrations. Bring your awareness behind the lowermost part of the sternum and feel a rising vibration going through you and out of the top of the head. We visualize that rising vibration as Haim Em So feel the flow, Haim Em Haim Em Haim Em Now bring the awareness to the lungs and mentally vibrate Haim Haim. Now we can go on to our spinal alignment exercises. As we exhale, gently tilt the head, bringing one ear towards the shoulder. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, tilt towards the other ear and continue. Last exhalation. Inhale, come back up. And as you exhale, turn the head and look over one shoulder. Inhale, come back. Exhale, turn and look over the other shoulder. Inhale, come back and continue. Last exhalation. Inhale, come back. With the next inhalation, lift up the chin, take the head back. And as you exhale, bring the chin down towards the chair. Last inhalation and last exhalation. Bring the chin down to the chest, and then we go 360 degrees around the neck. Inhale half a circle and exhale, complete the circle, and continue. Last inhalation and last exhalation, and let's go in the reverse direction. Last exhalation, and now we go to the shoulder exercise. Inhale, lift up one shoulder, exhale, rotate it back and bring it down. Inhale, lift up the other shoulder, exhale, rotate it back and bring it down, and continue. Last exhalation. Now stretch out the hands in front of you, and as you inhale, lift up the palm and stretch out the fingers. Exhale, thumb in, make a downward facing fist. Inhale up and stretch, exhale down. Last exhalation. Now go around the wrist. Inhale half a circle and exhale, complete the circle and continue. Let's go reverse. Last exhalation. Now elbows in line with the shoulders. And as you inhale, open out the palm and exhale, make the fist again and continue. Last inhale and last exhale. Let's go reverse. Last inhale and last exhale. Interlock the fingers and bring it behind the head. And as you exhale, twist to one side, inhale, come back. Exhale, twist the other way, inhale, come back. Continue. Last exhalation. Inhale, come back. Get hold of the elbows behind the head. And as you exhale, pull on one elbow. Inhale, come up. Exhale the other way. Last exhalation. Inhale, release, and bring your hands behind your back. Get hold of the elbows. Take a deep breath in. Pull back the shoulders, and as you exhale, twist to one side. Inhale, come back. Exhale, twist the other way. Inhale, come back, and continue. Last exhalation. Inhale, come back. Get hold of the hips behind the back. Inhale, push on one hand and make a backward arch. Exhale, come forward. Continue with the other side. Last inhalation and last exhalation. And now we cross one leg over the other. Hold the knee on the top. And as you exhale, pull it across to the other shoulder. Inhale, release. Exhale, pull and turn. Inhale, release. And continue. Last exhalation, pull and turn. Inhale, release. Now let's cross the other way. Last exhalation, pull and turn. Inhale, release. Now we can stand up, and as we inhale, bend at the knees, and then after that we will do the pelvic bend. So inhale, bend at the knees, exhale, come up. Last inhalation and last exhalation. Now, those of you who have good balance, you can remain standing. Get hold of the elbows behind the back. Take a deep breath in, pull back the shoulders, lift up the chin. Keep the feet shoulder width apart, inside of the feet parallel to each other. And as you exhale, lean forward, pushing out the butt. Keep the shoulder pulled back and chin up so that the back stays straight. Inhale and exhale into the stretch. Take a deep breath in, come back up. Take your seat, and we will lift both the shoulders together at the same time as we inhale. Inhale, lift both the shoulders. Exhale, rotate it back and bring it down. Continue. Last inhalation and last exhalation. And now let's look at how the nostrils are breathing. If they are approximately equal, bring your awareness right to the middle of the forehead on the hairline. Keeping your awareness there, take a deep breath in and feel the awareness of the breath go up over there to the point right in the middle of the forehead at the hairline, and exhale, feel the awareness going down. If they are not approximately equal, then in which case you can do the alternate nostril breathing. Either way is fine. Now, let's go on to one round of Bhastrika. Let's begin with exhalation. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 3. Inhale. Exhale. 4. Exhale. 5. Exhale. 6. Exhale. 7. Exhale. 8. Exhale. 9. Exhale. 10. Exhale. 11. Exhale. 12. Exhale. 30. Exhale. 40. Exhale. 50. Exhale. 60. Exhale. 70. Exhale. 80. Exhale. 90. Exhale. And 20. Exhale. Take a deep breath in through the right nostril, hold the breath, and exhale to the left. Now we will do the spinal mantra. We do the 7 mantras from the feet and ankle to the knees to the lowermost part of the spine, which is in between the buttocks and the back, and then the lumbar spine, the thoracic spine, the cervical spine in the neck, and then in the back of the head, in the very top, called the Shikha point. The mantra for the feet and neck are the same, that is Aim. Now let us begin from the feet and ankle with mantra Aim, moving to knees where we vibrate Shim, and move on to the base of the spine where we do Jim. Aim, Shim, 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 Jim. I'm Shim Jim, I'm Shim Jim, I'm Shim Jim, I'm Shim Jim, I'm Shim Jim. Now we move from the base of the spine to the lumbar region, then to the thoracic or the back region of the spine with Jim, Jim, Haim. So let's go. Jim, Jim, Haim. 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 Now we move from the thoracic spine to the spine and the neck, to the back of the head with Haim, Aim, Om. Let's go. Haim, Aim, Om. 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 Now we do all the 7 mantras in sequence, starting from the feet and ankle. Aim, Shim, Jim, Jim, Haim, Aim, Om. 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 I'm Shim Jim Jam Ham I'm 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 Om. Now let's go on to the next round of Bhastrika. Let's begin with exhalation. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 4 inhale. Exhale. 5. Exhale. 6. Exhale. 7. Exhale. 8. Exhale. 9. Exhale. 10. Exhale. 11. Exhale. 12. Exhale. 30. Exhale. 40. Exhale. 50. Exhale. 60. Exhale. 70. Exhale. 80. Exhale. 90. Exhale. 20. Exhale. Take a deep breath in through the right nostril. Hold the breath, observe the sensations within, and exhale through the left nostril. Let's go on to one more round of Bhastrika before going on to meditation. Let's begin. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 3 inhale. Exhale. 4. Exhale. 5. Exhale. 6. Exhale. 7. Exhale. 8. Exhale. 9. Exhale. 10. Exhale. 11. Exhale. 12. Exhale. 30. Exhale. 40. Exhale. 50. Exhale. 60. Exhale. 70. Exhale. 80. Exhale. 9. Exhale. And 20. Exhale. Take a deep breath in through the right nostril. Hold the breath and observe within, and exhale to the left nostril. Mentally tell yourself, I give up all ideas and concepts and I care about nothing. I let go of everything. I let go of everything. I let go of everything. Mentally, as you let go of everything, feel the shoulders becoming light and perhaps the head too. If you have a personal mantra, focus on it. Otherwise, feel a rising vibration from behind the lowermost part of the sternum, going upward and out of the top of the head. And the vibration feels like 3 syllables, Haim, Im, Om. And we will have Om playing in the background. Mentally affirm to yourself, may I be guided to fulfill the purpose for which I am born. Understanding yourself as an instrument of the cosmic flow. Become aware of the senses from the top of the head all the way down to the bottom of the feet. The senses given to us to fulfill the purpose for which we are born. Now, whenever you're ready to open your eyes, raise your hands up and look straight into the palm of your hands as you open your eyes. Keep the awareness within, and without too much of talking or too much of activity, we can continue our discussion. If you have any questions that besides the Sri Vidya is the one that was proposed. If there are, I can begin with Sri Vidya, and if there are other questions, we can deal with them.
There are a couple of questions in chat box.
Yeah. Okay. So the question about okay, the Pitralok with respect to the souls, where the souls that okay, are there any ghosts also? Yes. Actually, any soul that is not satisfied when it is leaving the body and has complaints against other people or whatever, and if the death ceremonies are not done in order to push them along so that the vibrations are taken care of, they can hang around and they are the ones that become ghosts. And of course, when they come like that, it is relatively easy to get rid of them. So if anybody have ghost problems, let me know, I'll get rid of it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so now the next question that we have here is about the Sri Vidya. So, there are two hands up over here. Ashokji and Suresh Purohit. Ashokji, is your question answered, or is there, you can bring your hands down?
No, I didn't raise. Oh, sorry. Yes, it's answered.
Okay. So, Suresh Purohit, go ahead.
Yes, my question is not regarding this, but question is the sequence of pranayam we do our own. What pranayam should first, and like Kapalabhati first, then Bhastrika, then Anulom Anulom. I mean, can you give me sequence how we do pranayam by ourselves?
It is different strokes for different folks. So in other words, what happens is you need to understand what each pranayam does. And based on that, you need to decide how to work with it. Let me explain the principles in yoga over here before we go to Sri Vidya. In yoga, pranayam does multiple functions. It balances within. So the right brain and the left brain balance is one element. Another element is balance between the communication into the brain and coming out of the brain. So the two pranayams that create the balance within are the alternate nostril breathing and the inhalation and exhalation. And the Ujjayi Pranayama, the Ujjayi Pranayama. So these are the two that create the balance. The Bhastrika Pranayama increases the vitality in the system. So depending upon what you need to do the right one. So obviously you can understand that when the balance is not there in the system, you need to do Ujjayi Pranayama and Anulom, the alternate nostril breathing, in order before you do Bhastrika. Otherwise, there is no point. If you do Bhastrika, it will make the imbalance worse. So is your question answered, Suresh Purohit?
No, what about Kapalbhati?
Okay.
When we used to do
Kapalbhati is used in order to increase the heat in the body. Okay. So for Kapalbhati can be used in two ways. One way in which it can be used is, particularly in winter time, when the body is a little tight, you can begin with Kapalbhati as the first exercise to warm the body. The second way in which Kapalbhati can be used is, after an asana exercise is done, before beginning the pranayama as the first exercise, you can do Kapalbhati to again increase the heat in the body, so that when you work with the pranayama, it will be more effective.
Okay, thank you.
And anytime Kapalbhati is done, it is a very good idea to do Brahmari after that.
Okay.
Yeah, because it balances everything in the body after the heat that is produced by Kapalbhati.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So now let's get to Sri Vidya, a question that was raised yesterday. The Sri Vidya has two components to it. What we call as the concepts around it, and then the practices around it. They are two different things. You all know from our discussion of the Yoga Sutras that out of God comes the energy, the first energy that is called Prakriti. That is the first composition that is divinely created. That Prakriti is what is called Shri, or what you can call it as the Divine Mother. And of course, in the worship system, the name that is used is Tripura Sundari in the Sri Vidya system. So this first program that has come, the reason it is called Shri is, by Shri, the nature is, it's a deviation from the unmanifest state. Anytime there is a deviation from the unmanifest state, it is called Shri. So Shri has the meaning. Many of you know, but at an earlier time, I spoke about the three stories that are there in the Durga Shaptashati. That is the Devi Mahatmyam, or what is called the Chandi Path in Bengal. So in that one, there are three stories, and the first story was a very weird story which I related to all of you, that of Madhu and Kaitaba. How many of you remember that story of Madhu and Kaitaba? Okay, some of you remember, and you can raise the hand. You don't need to unmute yourself. The thing is, Madhu and Kaitaba were considered in the nature of Sattva Purusha. And you remember that in the Yoga Sutra, when it says, when you have reached the highest stage, you become equal to that of Sattva Purusha. That is equal to that of God. So you know the story where Brahma is coming out to begin creation, and Madhu and Kaitaba come, and they don't want Brahma to begin creation and create a mess. So let everything be quiet. That time, Brahma prays to the Divine Mother, and then the Divine Mother leaves Ananta Padmanabha, who wakes up, who is the God, and comes and fights with these people. But God is unable to defeat them because they are Sattva Purushas. And so but then the Mahamaya that goes into these two people, Madhu and Kaitaba, and gives them pride. Oh, even you cannot beat us, God. So the thing is, basically, when that happens, they say, since you cannot even beat us, ask us any boon you want, we'll give you. So Ananta Padmanabha says, I want your head. So they bow their head down, he chops off their head, and that is how creation is able to happen of Brahma. So this is a very weird story. And so this is what is there as the first story in the Durga Saptashati. So the clear element of it is deviation from sattva or purity is the nature of creation. That is why the word Shri means poison, as well as it means the nature of expansion of creation, which by the nature of expansion is, it is going to create a lot of movement, disharmony, and things like that. Okay? So in this first, this Prakriti, the Divine Mother that is created, that Divine Mother, as the first creation Prakriti, is now going to make rest of creation. The rest of creations are made at 9 levels. These 9 levels, within the 9 levels, you can understand that the lowest level, 9 levels, is the kind of what you would call as matter that has no life in it, okay, like any material thing. Then after that comes life form, the unthinking life form, the thinking life form, and different levels of thinking of life form. And at the highest, when it reaches the awareness of the Divine Mother, then in which case, of course, the 9 levels through which you have gone and attained, and you have been able to attain the nature of or experience the nature of the Divine Mother, the Tripura Sundari, as the name that is used in the Sri Vidya system. Now, so I gave you the basic conception around it, and the representation of this basic conception has been given in the form of what is called as the Shri Chakra, and the 3-dimensional aspect of the Shri Chakra is called the Meru. How many people have heard of Meru over here? Okay, hands up. Okay. So how many of you have heard of Shri Chakra? Okay, there are a lot more people who have seen the Shri Chakra. In the Shri Chakra, there is a very interesting aspect. It has like many triangles interposed one on the top of the other. I cannot remember how many. Once they are all put together, I'm thinking there may be 96 triangles in there. Can anybody correct me whether it's 96 or different? Okay. So the thing is, basically, each triangle is supposed to indicate some level of the nature of existence. And when it is, and right in the middle is a little dot, which is called the Bindu, that is where the Devi resides. In the 3-dimensional form, it is built like a little pyramid, but with a lot of edges around, and right on the top is supposed to be Devi. And then each layer below is they will typically say in the story that there are 9, Devis who are actually, there are 8 or 9 Devis who are protecting the Devi. So you have to go across the 9 of these Devis who are protecting. They are like guards over there in order to reach. So this is how it is stated. But in reality, it is about vibrations, 9 levels of vibrations, where it goes in, and you're able to reach that. Now, that same thing has been associated with the chakra system. And in each of the chakras, there are supposed to be the letters. And we do, of course, Lam, Vam, and all of these. That is the consolidated form. So if you think in terms of life forms that don't have life, that is the, creation that doesn't have life. That is the first layer of the lowest level of creation outside the 9 level. Then once you pierce that, then life forms come in. And within the life form, we have gone to the 8 chakras. And only when you cross the 8th chakra, you're able to connect with Devi, that kind of concept. But what we also know is, with specific vibrations, you can break through each one of the awareness. And that is why in the Yoga Sutras, it is said that simply with mantra, you can develop the state of siddhis that can come, samadhi, all of them can give you siddhi abilities. So in the Sri Vidya system, the people who, we know somebody, I don't think the person is attending today, but this person has gone and learned something from a Sri Vidya person in India. And this person who is the Sri Vidya person in India, this man told me he wanted to, this fellow who's over here, he wanted to come and learn from me. And we have a small spiritual group that meets sometime. And somebody invited him to come over there. The moment I saw him, I asked him, what is your interest over here? So he said he's interested in learning more about all of these things. And he told me he has learned Sri Vidya, he's doing this Upasana and all of these things. So then I asked him, who did you learn the Sri Vidya from? So he showed me the website of the person, this thing. So I told that person, this person who had come, I'm sorry you don't belong in this group. Please leave. But as long as you are learning from this man, you have no business to come to me. Please leave. So the thing is, basically, that person was very disappointed. And within the group, when people were there, they were all wondering, I never tell people to leave. And here it is, I'm telling a person to leave. And so this person, he left. But what happened was, the same person decided this person will apply for our measured yoga therapy program. The measured yoga therapy program is constructed as an academic program and not as a spiritual learning program, even though the spiritual learning elements are embedded within it. And so what happens is we have a 3-member admissions committee, of which I'm not part of. But what happens is I get to see when people are being interviewed. So the 3 people who were interviewing, they were very impressed with the background of this person, and they were going to, approve him for admission. And I was watching everything. So this person had 4 little children, and this person was doing so many things. So one of the people in the interviewing group, the 3-member committee, asked this person, how are you able to manage this? You must be a Superman to have 4 little children between the age of 2 and 13 and be able to manage all of this. And he has a full-time work. He's doing service in so many places. He's attending so many forums. So when that question was asked over there, I was watching all of this in the sense I was not visible. They were doing the interviewing. So in the end, when their interview was over, I came on and asked this person. So this person said, I am not the Superman. My wife is a superwoman, he said. So I became very curious. So in the end after the interview was over, I came and asked, can we meet your wife? So this was all on Zoom. So since he was talking from home, he called his wife and his wife came. When his wife came, I said, this is the yogi in the family. And I can teach you anything you want. But the husband, I will not teach anything. So the thing is, you see, what happened is, the interesting part was that the wife meets me every week for half an hour, and she learns, and whatever she wants, I teach her. But the interesting part was, over these many weeks where I have been meeting this wife, what I have learned is that man who is the Sri Vidya Upasaka over there, he has developed some siddhis because of all the mantras and things that he uses. And as a result of which his focus is very materialistic. So he's looking to, he tells all these chelas, bring me money, do this, do that, and things like that. Oh, I have just gotten these new merus. Each meru is $1,000. You can buy it from me. So if you keep the meru in your home, you will become very rich. This is the kind of message he gives them, right? So the thing is, basically, the wife has seen through this man, and the wife doesn't interact with that man anymore. But on the other hand, the husband is still over there. And so you can imagine how it is in the Sri Vidya system. If the higher conception, if the question is to obtain siddhis through yoga and all of these systems, because in the Sri Vidya system, they know how to penetrate with mantra the 9 levels. In fact, everybody doesn't know how to do 9 levels. Even though they talk of Sri Vidya, they only penetrate a certain number of levels, not up to the highest. But with that, they are able to get some, because it is all vibrations, sounds, they are able to get the abilities that come with that. So in the Sri Vidya system, they do a puja also, as I said, they call it as Tripura Sundari, and they call it as the Navavarna. Avarna means the enclosures. So Navavarna puja, as they call it. And so that is how it is expressed in the system. So I've given you a kind of a broad sense of Sri Vidya. So Rekha, you are the one who asked that question. So ask me what more you want to know. You can unmute yourself, Rekha. I only see her smiling photo over there. She doesn't want to talk. Anybody else wants to ask a question, you can.
Yeah, the Sri Chakra, I mean, one of the Sri Vidya I attended with Sivananda, who is during Sri Vidya, and Sri Chakra is involved in all the guards and go in sky and get some limited light, and then create Sri Chakra coming and put vibration in the brain and to all your body and all the cells. There's a mantra there, Kaya Ilaim Sakala Sakalarim. And you could do that. And I attended CB. At that time, I was like enlightened, very vibrative. Then after all, later on, it slowed down.
See, what happens is, anybody whose connectivity is higher, you are actually talking about a different phenomenon over here. You see, anybody who has a higher level of connectivity than you have, they can give you temporary exposure to that connectivity, and you can make you feel all of these things. This is only one example that you went through, and people who live in a belief-based system, by doing all of these you can mesmerize people with all these abilities, and then of course it leads to a commercial proposition from there. And what I call emotional dependence, or mental dependence on these kind of people as gurus and things like that. So this falls within a broad example where Patanjali Muni says that if you're able to connect into the chitta or the program of an elevated being, you will also be able to feel the elevation. This example works in many, many ways. I know of people who, if you want to know about your previous life, they will say, come and sit next to them, and they will touch you and close your eyes and ask whatever you want to see. You'll be able to see everything, because they will give you, by their closeness over there, the ability to connect and experience for yourself, right? So the same way, they don't even need to touch. Without touch, you can do that. Okay. So what happens is, like if there was a particular reason, we never use this, for instance, if there are a touching, of course, makes it even stronger. But even without touching, if there was a divine purpose where somebody needed to, just by thinking of the person, you can enter into that person's spiritual vibrations, and you can give them the vibration necessary to experience, but it's only temporary. And this is the idea of what is called Shaktipat. Shaktipat, as it is called, where they give you initial vibration boost, but it doesn't last. It is all temporary. And so this entire business of these are all misuse of the Tantra system. And so that is where it has come to. What do? People misuse it. They get mesmerized by this. But the reality is, unless you purify yourself and unless you can keep the connectivity on your own, it really is simply like, just like you have desire to know this, that, and things like that. It becomes one more desire and one more fascination. Realization has got nothing to do with desire or fascination.
So, but what we are doing right now with you, your yoga system, we think one of the time, maybe not this life, next life, you might get to self-realization or something.
See, what it is the highest realization is we are all instruments of the cosmic flow. And being true to your conscience and doing our duty, automatically we continue on. Not everyone may have the individual realization of everything. You will get only the level of abilities and a higher level of experiences to the degree you need to fulfill the purpose of your life. And as the Yoga Sutra says, once you have finished all your programs in there, you go beyond the rebirth stage, you completely become relieved of everything. But by reaching that state does not mean that you have to have the higher levels of experiences in every respect. But you can have other experiences. I'll give you examples. Okay? The example is, for instance, you will see once in a while people who are completely contented with life and people who have high level of wisdom. But the thing is, basically, they don't have any experiences where they think of something and they go elsewhere or can this thing and all of that. Those go into the Siddhi level. That is not part of their job. So that's why they don't go there. Think of the case of Ramana Maharshi. Okay? Ramana Maharshi never did any magic like Sai Baba or anybody like that. Okay? But Ramana Maharshi, for himself, he was fully satisfied. And there he was. If you had any questions about, cosmic wisdom, he can give you answers for that. Right? But himself, he was not into creating magic, pulling things out of thin air and things like that. Right? So that is the...
He did Gayatri Purushcharan, 24 Purushcharan, he did Gayatri Purushcharan, Ramana Maharshi, and then he got all this kind of strength and power.
Who so told you all of that?
Well, I read, when I was reading about Ramana Maharshi, and I saw that, I read somewhere.
No. Actually, for
24 Gayatri Purushcharan.
24 Gayatri what?
20 lakhs. Purushcharan. One Purushcharan is 24 lakhs of mantra. Is one Purushcharan.
I see.
So he did 24 Purushcharan.
See,
Or Gayatri mantra.
The key part is he was born into a family who are taught Trikala Sandhya. He was given a sacred thread and all of those things. Okay. So the thing is, basically, he was probably doing his practice for maybe as many as like 7-8 years or something like that before he had the death experience. Now, what happens is, I've already explained to you that from the Kashmir Shaivism aspect, that Ramana Maharishi's experience was in the domain of what is called Shambhopaya. That is, once the nadis are fully clear, you mentally ask the question for whatever you ask, you will get the answer immediately. Okay? So whatever mantra he might have done on Gayatri, they were all very incidental and they were purifying for him. Whatever little that was left for him that needed clearing, it cleared with his Gayatri mantra that he might have done. But the key place where, you're talking about is that the siddhis that come, he didn't care for any siddhi because he had all the realization within him. Realization and siddhis are not the same thing. That's the point I was trying to mention with respect to Ramana Maharshi. Okay, so we will close over here. So namaste,
Thank you.
everyone.